So welcome. Hopefully you're in the right space. The Advisor's Toolkit to Study Abroad. Here, please enjoy some beautiful photos of some of our students who shared these with us from their own experiences studying abroad. Who are we? We had some brief introductions, so I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Sarah Vatch. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And I advise in the office for UCEAP and OAP programs, which you'll learn so much more about in just a minute. And I've been in the office now 10 years. I want to share that fun number with you all. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it to my colleague, Kelly.
Thanks, Sarah. And hi, everyone. Welcome to our workshop today. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kelly O'Sullivan Sommer, and I'm the director of the office. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I have been in the office for 18 years, and I've been at UCSD as staff for almost 30 years, and I'm a graduate of Third College. And if anybody knows which college that is, kudos to you. And I'll pass it to Jay.
Thank you, Kelly. Greetings, everyone. My name is Jay Minert. I use he, him, his pronouns. I work in the office as the outreach marketing director, trying to get the word out about study abroad to all of our students across all of our colleges and departments. So we thank you for your part in helping us do that. I also do work around issues around academic integration, making sure students' credits come back okay, and all that good stuff. Apologies, I live downtown and it's super loud today. I think Comic-Con must be coming or something. So hopefully there won't be too much cacophony going on behind me, but thank you, great to be here. Back to you, Sarah.
Jay. So before we begin, excuse me, just some minor housekeeping stuff. Eliza's here if you have any questions or something's going on. You can rename yourself if you like, with your name, department, pronouns if you would like to add those. Please make sure your mic is muted. This slide was a while ago, but I guess it's always good to remind folks to do that. I learned a while ago you can hide yourself. So I know I can see myself, and sometimes that drives me a little wild, but there is a way to hide yourself if you find that distracting. And we understand, step out at any time. As Jay mentioned, there's stuff going on around us that we can't prevent. There might be Spider-Man climbing up his wall because of Comic-Con this week. So hopefully we'll see what's going on. But we understand. So feel free to do what you need to do. If you need to get up, grab some water, get more comfortable. We hope to be here for just about an hour today. So thank you. So before we begin, let's utilize the chat. We want to know a little bit about you. I mean, it would take a while for us all to share, as wonderful as that would be. So maybe we could do that another time. But in the meantime, in the chat, if you could throw in your name, your pronouns, what department, how you're feeling, you can maybe use an emoji if you like, or if you don't want to do that, if you want to put in the chat something you're looking forward to today, that'd be great. We can read some of those. Oh yeah, Kelly, you're right. You can put it in your, we have more options in our screen these days too. Welcome, Ruby from Ravel. Sleepy Monday, right? This afternoon. Oh, the beach after work, Kelly. Thank you for sharing. That sounds really nice. Hi, John from Warren. Catherine from Visual Arts, wonderful. Oliver from Linguistics, Kristen from 7th, Economics. So many departments and colleges represented. This is wonderful. Thank you. Christina from Rady. Oh, human interaction. Yes. Cognitive science. Oh, vacation. That sounds wonderful, Monty. I hope everybody's taking some vacation this summer. I know how the time can go by so fast, but resting and letting the mind take a break is always so great. Theater and dance, Alex, welcome. Well, gosh, thank you all so much for sharing, and feel free to continue if you like. And we'll also keep an eye on the chat with questions, but we will have time at the end to really dive into that. And now I pass it on to my colleague, Kelly.
Thank you, Sarah. So I would like to share with all of you today just some of our objectives. Our main thing is our partnerships on campus. We rely on our close partnership with all of you who are here in the academic departments and in the colleges, but also in so many other additional units on campus: financial aid, registrar, admissions, and then all of our campus community centers. So for all of you who are here today, we really appreciate your partnership. And the first step for that with people who are new, or if you want to continue to learn about our office, and maybe you've heard this information 25 times before, but we really just want to share information, keep you updated on everything that we're doing in our office and how COVID and this pandemic has affected us and how it continues to affect the work that we're doing. We want to foster relationships. We have a lot of resources to share with you. And then we want to, of course, gain proactive partners in supporting our students to study abroad. Next slide, Sarah. So just a quick situating of our office. We are Study Abroad UC San Diego, and we are within the department or the unit of global education, which also houses the International Students and Programs Office and the International Faculty and Scholars Office. And then we do have a Dean's Office, which we all sort of report to. And the Dean's Office coordinates programming across the entire university. Our vision, Study Abroad's vision, is to provide high impact and high quality experiences abroad that will have lifelong and meaningful academic, first and foremost, and then personal and career benefits to our students. And our mission is to do that through the international or the global academic and co-curricular experiences that we hope to make accessible to our very diverse student population. Thanks, Sarah. So here's where we were pre-COVID. So this was our last fully fledged academic year of sending students abroad back in 2018, 2019. We sent 1,349 students abroad from the university. And I should add, this asterisk this is numbers that we've collected from our office. So that year we sent about 1,000 students through our office programs. But then we know that students are also studying abroad and doing research and volunteer work and internships abroad through other offices on campus or through other programs. So we've been working hard to also collect that information. So this number gets pretty close to that and includes some graduate students as well. These are a couple other data points for you, and this is across the country. Students who study abroad graduate faster than those who don't study abroad. So if any of you ever hear that myth, or students ask you, will I delay my graduation? No, absolutely not. Most students who study abroad graduate on time or sooner, and definitely faster than those who don't study abroad. And a lot of that is due to the long-term planning that we encourage, that you all encourage when you're working with your students on this. Cost and funding. So the takeaway from this little section is that our students have really high need. Our students who study abroad mirror the students on campus, with a super high percentage of Pell recipients or Pell eligible students. We have a high percentage of first generation students that make up our scholarship awardees. And we also award a lot of our scholarships and aid to our summer students. And that's not surprising because our summer programs are more and more popular every year. Also, probably not surprising to you, about 32% of our students who study abroad are from STEM fields. That's due to the nature of our campus with such a high percentage of STEM majors on our campus. Across the country, and I think actually across the world, the binary, the old binary number of students who identified as women and men was about 70 and 30%. And we definitely are collecting non-binary information on students now, but at this point when we gathered this information, we just had the students who identified as male and female. But this is to show you that there is a disparity in the number of women versus men that we send abroad. This ethnicity, though, is what I really want to share with you. We are beating the campus, or we're sending higher than the campus average of students who identify in our underrepresented or underserved student populations. And actually, this coming year, we are seeing higher numbers of African American students and our Latinx population of students who are studying abroad. So we're really proud of this. Again, this is partly due to the diversity of our student population on campus, obviously, but it's also because we do a lot of very intentional work to make sure that our programs are accessible to all of our students on our campus. And we do a lot of work with our centers. And it's also due to the work that you're doing for our students who identify in these populations. So thank you for that. Next slide, Sarah. So what's happening now? We are definitely on the upswing. We are sending a lot of students abroad this coming year, but we're still not back at the number we were before COVID hit. So I think this is the latest number, Sarah, that you might have pulled. We're still recruiting students for next spring of 2023, so this number could go up. But for this summer, we are sending almost as many students on our faculty-led global seminar programs as we have ever sent. So 335 students most of them are out right now, returning in about a week. And then we have 1 or 2 summer session 2 programs. And then we're anticipating sending 301 students for summer and fall UCEAP programs, about 25 students on our OAP programs. And again, we'll talk about these programs in a little bit. And then our global exchanges, those program numbers are increasing. So that's good to see, about 23 students outbound on those programs this summer. Thanks, Sarah. A couple things we want to share with you about our successes that we've had over the years. A big one is in our scholarships, and that's our partnerships. We can't do this without our partnerships with all of you in the colleges, and then in some of the academic departments, and then especially across our Vice Chancellor Student Affairs colleagues. So we have partnerships with OASIS, with Student Success Coaching, and we really rely on all of you to help promote and also to offer scholarships to our students as well. I already talked about our diversity of ethnicity and how we're paralleling or exceeding our campus and national averages in many categories. So we're happy about that. We have been on this campus entrepreneurs of program development. So our global seminars, which are now, I think we're in our 15th, maybe 14th year of offering our faculty-led programs. We've had a 75% growth over the last 5 years, again, pre-COVID, but in our program offerings, which is great. Our global exchanges are our bilateral campus-based exchanges with other partner universities abroad, and those are relatively new within the last 5 years. The big thing about our global exchanges is that they keep our tuition local, which is really helpful, and campus really likes that. And then we have our global concentrations, which some of you know about, and I think we'll talk about those a little bit later, but those are focused on the departments and sort of a badge that students can get within their major. And then we have, I think Jay's probably going to talk about our academic integration efforts, but again, critical partnerships with all of you in the colleges and the departments to identify the programs that are the best fit for our students in your majors. All right, thanks, Sarah. And then overarching everything that we do in our office, again, is our commitment to our racial and social justice and equity. And this is because we're constantly making sure that we are providing programs that are accessible to our students. So everything that we do, from our strategic plan, all of our goals and assessment, our professional development and training, all of our HR processes, and that we do all of that very intentionally to make sure that we are looking with a critical eye with a EDI lens. And we have been we were fostering a physical inclusive space before COVID. We haven't, actually we're back on campus. We'll talk about that as well, our new space on campus. But I think we've also done a really good job, as many of you have, fostering a virtual inclusive space for our students. And we have found, as again, many of you have, that our students are really enjoying the accessibility to all of us through our virtual advising and our remote advising options. So we're going to continue doing some of that and then continue to ramp up, hopefully, our physical in-person advising when we can this coming fall. I think that's all there, Sarah. And then I just want to also share with all of you that we have a Study Abroad Takes Action group that we're all a part of within our office, but we call it our SATA, and we do our kind of SATA weekly updates at our staff meetings. But that is where we are trying to take our commitments to racial and social justice and equity into action. So some of the ways we do this is by talking about it during our staff meetings, talking about what we've been doing, the commitments that we're making to our students and how we are putting those into action. We have a book club within our office where we have read several books over the last couple of years and just talk about the difficult topics and how we can use some of those themes in those books to do better in our advising practice for our students. And then I don't know if you all have seen our website, but I think we're going to share our identity resources and especially our Black Abroad page. Jay especially has been working on this for the last couple of years, and it's a very dynamic, they are some very dynamic pages. They're never static. And we have some amazing resources, all in the name of, providing the foundational information that our students need to know about their own identities, thinking about their own identities before they go abroad, but then in making sure that they understand who they will be abroad and how they can stay safe in their identities abroad and process that while they're abroad. So I think that might be my last slide. I will pass it to Jay, I think. Thanks, Sarah.
All right, thank you, Kelly. And yeah, so I'm going to take a moment to kind of walk us through some of the terms that you all have probably been hearing about. You may not understand, or what's the differences. You're looking at a screen now of our portfolio of programs. Again, we're the Study Abroad office, and I raised this only because I've been at this for about 10 years, right? And I've heard it all. Like, you're the EAP office, or, oh, we do EAP, but we also do other things, and oh, you're global seminars. So there's quite a portfolio of programs that we offer under our umbrella of Study Abroad. And I'm going to walk us through what these different programs are here. Sarah, what do you think? Should we show them this video? Do we have time?
I think we show like a few minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna be mindful of time, but we have a cool video of a student who did one of our programs called EAP. Her name is Fabiola. We're gonna show that video for you, and then I'll get into the definitions.
Hi everybody, my name is Fabiola Lawson. I am a second-year transfer student at UCSD. I am part of the STARS program. STARS is a program for study abroad returnees who work as peer ambassadors to encourage prospective students to study abroad. I am making this video because I would love to see more students from different backgrounds participate in the different programs offered at UCSD, such as the Global Seminar Program, UCEAP, and OAP. I definitely encourage you guys to visit the Study Abroad website to discover all the other programs offered. So today I'm going to tell you guys all about my experience studying abroad in Ghana and how you guys can do this. Prior to studying abroad, I had no idea where I wanted to apply. I just had to ask myself, what do I want this experience to do for me? what do I want to gain out of it. I knew that after my studies in the US, I would essentially like to move to another country. It came down to Ghana because I just knew that if I had to live in an African country, it would have to be there. So I ended up studying abroad in fall 2019 in Accra at the University of Ghana, Legon. Studying abroad is the opportunity to discover more about yourself, attain personal goals, get out of the US and explore different things. Or maybe you're about to graduate and you don't know where you want to live and you don't know what you exactly want to do, then this is a perfect opportunity for you to learn more about another culture, to move out of the country and discover new places. This experience will essentially do whatever you want it to do for you, and you can mold it however you would like it to be. Upon arrival in Ghana, we actually had a rigorous orientation week. I was not ready for this, but it was very fun. We were able to go to the different markets, we visited historical places, we tried out different food, and we actually learned about the history of Ghana. It was definitely worth it. Our UCEAP counselors in Ghana were so amazing, and they were there to help us at any time of the day, and they did such an amazing job. UCEAP couldn't have prepared me for what I was about to experience and for how amazing the people were going to be. Throughout the semester, we got to visit 3 other regions in Ghana. We went to Cape Coast, Kumasi, and the Volta region. We were able to see the monkey sanctuary, the slave castles. We were able to participate in different festivals. These activities actually gave me time to bond with the Ghanaian students in school and also bond with the other UCEAP students that are coming from different University of California. The usual concerns about studying abroad usually are maybe transferring your grades back to the US, finances, the fear of integrating into another culture, adapting to the local language, or the fear of going to another country for the first time or actually living there. Personally, my number one concern was finances and transferring my grades back to the US. I was able to figure out how to conquer these challenges by meeting up with my counselors. I actually realized it would be relatively easy to transfer my grades back to the US because they already had a system where I could see classes that others.
I'm going to leave everybody wanting more.
All right, thank you, Sarah. Thank you.
Yes, no problem. Yes, absolutely. And if anybody wants, we can send the link for this later, and I'll talk about ways you can add it to your site too. So
Right on. And I always love those kind of videos because I work in marketing and outreach, and Fabiola, she approached us. That's her, her words, her desires, and I love that. And so if you are working with any students who are really excited about the study abroad experience, send them on over to our office. We work with Returnee ambassadors trying to get the word out about study abroad. And so we always love to work with students like Fabiola in that. So Fabiola was referencing a program called UCEAP, and it's a very popular program because it is our very own program that's administered out of the University of California. So UCEAP's offices are physically located up in Goleta, UC Santa Barbara, but all of the campuses throughout the UCs participate on UCEAP. What's cool about UCEAP? The big thing is UC students get UC credit, and credit comes in automatically, which is really cool. And the grades that they earn abroad will factor into their GPAs because it is a UC program. And if students are receiving UC-based financial aid, they may carry that aid with them and apply it towards a study abroad program through EAP, since it's a UC program. But so because of the UC-ness of it, it's a very seamless program. It's very robust. They're in a lot of different countries. Because University of California is one of the leading university systems in the world, a lot of other systems want to work with us. And so EAP has a fantastic portfolio of leading universities really all around the world. And students can study in English and other languages, a lot of choices. And so definitely a popular option for students. When students are looking for courses, EAP has done a lot in terms of academic integration. They've created these really cool databases that students can access to identify potential courses. And so a lot of resources, a lot of help is available to students who want to study abroad through EAP. Next slide. Global Seminars is another popular program. We love Global Seminars because it's ours. It's our very own program. And so what differentiates Global Seminars from UCEAP is really UCEAP is kind of made for the entire system. UC San Diego has what's called a faculty-led program or global seminars. And so our very own faculty are leading these programs. They're small, 15, 25 something students, usually. And so you have access to leading professors. Global Seminars currently offers summer programs. I believe the 2023 list is already out. So if you want to check out the list for new programs for 2023, you can get on our website and check it out. Another cool thing I love about Global Seminars that we're really taking the lead on is just trying to create a diversity of program options. Study abroad traditionally today is always known kind of as you go abroad, you go somewhere foreign, you pull out that blue passport or whatever passport you have and you get that thing stamped. We're now offering and looking towards offering more domestic options. And so there's we call that study away. So, you can study abroad in a lot of places within the US. This summer, I believe we have one going to Santa Cruz, my old alma mater, Yosemite. There's different options out there. And so this is a fantastic option for students, both who are maybe undocumented, who don't have a passport, who don't feel that they can travel abroad, and also for costs. We can offer different varying price points, which is a really cool option for students in terms of the different choices. So if you do Global Seminars, you're actually receiving UC San Diego credit. It's like if a class was magically lifted from Center Hall and plopped in Paris, right? So these are actually UCSD classes. UCEAP programs, students will be coming in with their UC credit that will then be applied towards whatever requirements they hope to achieve. Global Seminars so far are all taught in English. The GPA, as you can see, 2.0 minimum. It's doable for a lot of students, and it's growing. There are more and more faculty who want to do Global Seminars, and so we're excited to see this program continue to evolve. Next slide, Sarah. Thank you. So the good news about our office is that we love to offer students choice, right? We have a lot of different choices. Some of the more challenging aspects of offering students so much choice is sometimes they get glazed over in the eyes and like, I don't know which program to do, which do I do? And so that's what our advisors are here to do, is to kind of help guide them into their correct program that works best for them according to their issues and needs and everything else. Opportunities Abroad program is another portfolio that we offer, which is essentially, if you can think of OAP or Opportunities Abroad program, these are anything that are non-UC based, right? If you've ever heard of a program called Semester at Sea, right, where a student hops on a cruise ship and takes classes around the world, that falls under our OAP portfolio. There is and it sounds like alphabet soup, all of the different providers that we work with through OAP, but there's AIFS, there's CIEE, there's CEA, there's, I can keep going, right? But essentially the thing to note about OAP is these are non-UC affiliated programs, which means that when students do an OAP program, the credit that they bring back, it's gonna come back as transfer credit. It's not UC, it'll be transfer credit. Students can still apply these classes towards their requirements, whether it's GEs in the college or academic requirements in their major or minor. It's just going to sit on another transcript. And so why would students choose EAP? What are the reasons for OAP? See, I'm getting all the acronyms messed up because I always throw around too many acronyms. OAP is an attractive choice for, I think the main thing for students is cost. Students might be able to find a more affordable option through an OAP. OAP, because they're not UC based, you cannot use UC based financial aid for OAP. However, just because we have so many different choices within OAP, there are some programs that can offer a pretty competitive price package for students. And then these programs also often offer grants and scholarship opportunities as well. EAP Global Seminars also offers grants and scholarship opportunities. All of our programs do, frankly. But OAP might be a good option for students looking for a bit of a lower price point in a certain country. The other reason would be a lot of students might be out of state, international. If you go abroad with EAP, at least during the school year, EAP charges non-resident tuition fees, which can drive up a cost a bit for EAP, whereas OAP, a student can stop out and say, hey, I'm gonna go to England or Thailand and study abroad through OAP, get transfer credit, and I'm not gonna have to pay these out of state tuition fees that EAP would charge me. EAP doesn't do that in the summer, but during the year, that might be an consideration for particularly out-of-state students. And so we encourage students particularly students who are concerned about costs, they're worried about paying for a program. We encourage them to look at OAP because that might give them a little bit more choices to consider as they're going through their different programs. Next slide, please.
Real quick, Jay, I wanted to jump in because of the last bullet point I put in there. Not all OAP are created equal. And the reason we have that in is because we know sometimes there are providers that will skip our office and go directly to you all. They'll go straight to the departments because their program sounds like it will fit your major department perfectly. So we just encourage you all, if somebody does reach out to you independent of our office, please check in with us, and because we just want to make sure that the organizations that are reaching out to you have good intentions, have great programs, and all of that good stuff. We're not trying to take opportunities away. We just want to give it that that extra view just to make sure that the people who are reaching out to you are offering great programs for our students. So I just wanted to throw that in there, why that.
And thank you for that, actually, Sarah, because it's good to point out, as you mentioned, OAP programs, because they're not UC based, they actually have to go through our admissions office. Our admissions has to say, yeah, this is an accredited university. Yeah, this will work for us. Or no, this university is in the back of somebody's van in Costa Rica or something. So, they really do a good job of vetting programs. And so, yeah, like Sarah said, if you're getting a student who has seen you about a study abroad opportunity and they haven't been to our office, they got to go through us. They really should, because we have health and safety protocols that we have in place. We have a program called Tritons Abroad. It's an application management tool. We don't want to send students abroad to take courses from a program that isn't legit. And by going through our office, if a student wants to do an OAP program, which includes direct enroll, mind you, if a student is living somewhere abroad and their parents, or grandparents live somewhere, they could potentially take a direct enroll course at a university through OAP. All of these choices, though, mean we want to see them. We want to make sure that everything is on the straight and straight. So thank you, Sarah, for that. And then finally, just to kind of close it out, is we have a new and growing program. Kelly kind of alluded to this in her remarks, but it's something called Global Exchange. And Global Exchange program is a newly created program that we have that are essentially bilateral partnerships that certain departments are making with certain universities around the world, and they're growing. We're excited at the potentiality of these programs. It's a reciprocity program, and so unlike EAP, these programs are just for us, just for UCSD. So what a bilateral program essentially means is that students will remain regularly enrolled at UCSD. They're going to pay their regular tuition and fees. They're going to have access to their usual financial aid, but they're going to be taking courses at this other university that is working closely with their department, linguistics, urban planning. There's several different programs that now, or different departments that offer global exchanges. There's different opportunities around, Europe. We have some in Baja, Australia, Japan. This list will grow. If you work with a program or a department that might be interested in developing a global exchange, reach out to us. We'd be happy to start that conversation because it is a really neat way to, like Sarah said, keep the tuition dollars at home, but allow students to have these really cool bilateral experiences studying something within their field of study at another university. So yeah, so good stuff. I think that's my last slide, Sarah. So should I kick it back to you?
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate it. So now you all know and are experts about all of our programs. If you're not, it's all good. We are so here for you. So you all know we have, oh my gosh, how many, 12 advisors in our office, maybe 13, and I'm not counting exactly off the cuff, but we liaison with many of the departments on campus. So on our staff page on our website, next to our names, it will say who we liaison with. If you don't see your department listed, please let us know. It was unintentional, but you can always reach out to Jay and he'll hook you up with the best person to connect with to get the questions answered. If you reach out to somebody who's not your liaison, it's okay. We want to make sure you're getting your questions answered and the support you need. So please reach out to us for any questions you may have about particular programs. Maybe you're meeting with a student, you have ideas, things like that. And so a lot of the times you may meet with a student first who voices to you that they want to study abroad. And you may think to yourself, I don't even know where to begin. So your first step is coming here, which is great. So thank you so much for being here. And lo and behold, that's what we call the process for our students too, which is the first steps. We have an awesome video on our website that Jay has curated and made bite-sized and really fun to watch. So you kind of get a quick scope on the programs. You can also rewatch that video that Fabiola did. She goes a little bit more into the various programs. And we encourage you to encourage them to see us, but also to start thinking about the process. So maybe when they are sitting in that office with you, the step is to look at the 4-year or 2-year plan, see where they're at, see when a good quarter may be for them to study abroad and encourage them to go. Maybe you've built out that plan and there's a section with a lot of electives. It just says elective, elective, elective. What better place to take them than not at UCSD and somewhere abroad or away? Because we know those study abroad courses can sit in with those other electives sometimes. So student meets with you, encourage them to watch the video, to meet with us, and to keep the conversations going. So if you're here today and you're a department advisor, you may then encourage them to meet with their college advisor or vice versa, and then come to see us. So collaboration is always key, keeping the lines of communication open, never making assumptions, and please asking all the questions. We're really here for that. And our website has some getting started tips as well. I mean, I met with a student this morning, and she wants to go next summer. And it's a perfect time to start thinking about it now during the summer. We have a little bit of time. Once that quarter starts, everybody really hits the ground running. So in terms of the pace of the quarter being so fast and maybe not having then the time to think about it, but it's always good to start thinking early so you can do the planning, meet with the advisors, and really see the scope, the grand scheme of study abroad. And as Kelly said, it is because of that planning that students are graduating on time or early. They not only have to think about their current quarter, what they're going to take in the fall, but what they're going to take when they return too. So it's really all mapped out, no pun intended there. And students have this clear picture of what the rest of their time at UCSD is about. So we have more information about this on our site, but the earlier the better. It's really great. Sometimes we're even meeting with first-year students who don't even want to go till their 3rd or 4th year. It's never too early to start thinking about it. Academic integration is also a huge part of study abroad. Actually, later, I have it written down, but next week, I believe my colleague Rachel and some of our department friends are going to be presenting in more depth about this. I have it on the next slide, so if you haven't already registered, please do hear about all the ways departments like cognitive science, biology, CSE have really integrated study abroad into their academic plans on their websites. I know so many more of you are already doing this, but maybe you don't know where to start. So really, please attend that session. Again, I'll have a slide with more of the details, but these resources have made it very helpful for students to, number one, feel supported by their department to study abroad because they see that it's plastered everywhere and there's special sections talking about study abroad, but also seeing how in certain countries or programs, the classes that they're interested in taking have been applied towards the requirements or not at all, and then they can move on to the next class. So again, there'll be more about this coming soon, so I really hope you'll also attend that session. So what are some advising approaches? We know you are all advising on so much, are busy all the time. And I think over the years of working at UCSD, the intensity of meeting with students, the culture of where the students are coming from, the concerns of the students, their goals have really, they change along the way, right? So what are some easy ways you can include study abroad? You can have a blurb on your website. It's so easy, we can even write it for you. No pressure, but we're happy to make it as easy as possible. You can highlight students who have studied abroad. These are just some, and like I said, there's probably more departments out there who have featured students on their website. Sixth College, ERC Linguistics, those are just some that have taken quotes from students, maybe pictures, put that on their website. Please invite us to your orientations. We've already been invited to a few. We love to show up and do just this, talk about study abroad, answer questions from students. You can do this easily by submitting a request to speaker. You can also contact our office for class talks where we send our student assistants or ourselves to speak at the very beginning of your classes and not take very much time at all, but just to give encouraging words and smile and hopefully get some people to our office and our virtual space. As Kelly mentioned, we have the global concentration. This is a way to add a stamp, a badge onto a transcript that shows a student has pursued this. UCEAP has also worked with the registrar's offices of all the UC campuses, and they call it a campus credit abroad database. This is something you can access through the UCEAP website, and it shows students how study abroad courses have landed on students' transcripts. It doesn't say, I mean, with all the caveats that students need to talk to their department, submit petitions, do all the right things. But that is something we've had a lot of departments apply for academic integration grants through UCEAP and have used that money that they've submit proposals, and we'll send reminders when this happens again. Happens at least one time a year through UCEAP. And then you can use that funding in specific ways that you propose. I believe cognitive biology put together a really nice video. I believe cognitive science has been an awardee. COM was awarded this year. I hope I'm surprised. No, they know already. They know already. But it's a great way to propose and get some additional funding. We know that can never, ever hurt. Financial aid and scholarships is one of the most important things we focus on in our office. As Kelly and Jay both mentioned, it is available for all the programs. It just may ebb and it just may change depending on the type of program that a student applies for. So for instance, UCEAP, you're going to get all the similar funding you would get for a regular quarter at UCSD in terms of all your UC money, federal, state money. Global seminars is over the summer, so that changes a little bit. OAP, you're not going to get your UC money. Global exchange, you pay your UCSD tuition. So there's so many differences, but we are doing our very, very best to help students understand financial aid and scholarships. And one way we're doing that is we are so excited and very grateful to have a financial aid advisor in our office. And we have a new colleague, his name is Eduardo. I know he's here somewhere on the call, but anyway, you'll hear more from him another time, but he's new. We're very grateful and excited to have him in our office. So our students can meet with him to talk about their aid. Every student's aid is so different. There's so many nuances. Some students haven't even really focused on their aid like they will in the time of studying abroad. So Eduardo's really here to help meet with students, bring clarity to what it all means, and then give the students confidence that they're going to be okay and they can afford it, and they can study abroad. We also have scholarships through all the different ways that people can study abroad. And in that 18-19 year, we were able to award over $1 million. Things have changed a little bit over the last few years. Funding has been limited due to COVID, but we are trying to get it going again and get that money focused in on our students, and maybe knocking on the chancellor's door for some of that $3 billion. I don't know, can we? Maybe, probably not, but we will do our best to get some money for our students. We're committed. If there's anything you learned today. Let's see where we're at. I want to look at time and be mindful of it, how we're doing. Some office updates, our advising services are, we're adapting to these times. We have appointments virtually. We have virtual drop-ins. We are not yet meeting with students in person. At this point, that's just the way it's working due to our space and the pandemic and all things related to it. We have a virtual front desk that our student assistants work at. They can make appointments. And we will begin our drop-in advising, which is through the Virtual Advising Center, a lot like you all, on August 1st, and have all of that posted on our website where we can answer questions for students. We're also currently hiring student assistants for the next academic year. So if you know students who'd be great in our office, please direct them to Handshake so they can take a look at that application. We also went through a process called the ACE review. It was a huge undertaking by a lot of very important people, and we are now, I mean, Kelly could probably go into a lot more details than I can, but what did come from all of that is not me, but the university will be hiring an assistant vice chancellor of global initiatives. That's what the I is for. And we're very excited to have somebody leading our departments, and you saw who was under that, and really helping to focus in on global education, because we know our whole university, it encompasses so much of who we are. We also, maybe more importantly, we have a new location. So if students want to meet with us, check in. Right now we are closed, but we are at the UC 214, which is right off Library Walk. It used to be a resale shop for those who remember the resale shop, but we are in between the Career Center and Center Hall, right at that corner. It's a great little spot, so please walk by and know where we are. And again, that's all updated on our website. We have, as Kelly mentioned, these beautiful identity resources, an identity page and resources, and focus on social justice and diversity, equity, and inclusion. So that's how we're doing. We're doing a lot. We're keeping ourselves very busy and focused, and raising the voices of our students. I was gonna break you into groups, but we're running out of time. So I'm gonna do two things at once. We're gonna chat. We would love to hear what your office is doing to promote study abroad, maybe any challenges you've faced, and how you can help us and we can help you. Unfortunately, the truth is students are not forced to study abroad. It has to be a decision on their own. So helping students come to that, talking to them about the opportunities, what is out there in the world of study abroad. We are so grateful for you to have those conversations with them as well. And together we can help our students have these really incredible opportunities. So we're gonna chat, we're gonna ask questions, and then I'm gonna do this as well. So we will come together as a group, but July 28th is the Streamlining Study Abroad, how to create a pre-approval process. So how you may talk about posting courses, being very, posting on your website, things like that. Rachel will be at the helm of that workshop on July 28th, and maybe you could still register for it. Eliza can give more info. There are conferences and associations you can look into: NAFSA, the Forum, Diversity Abroad. We will have our annual Study Abroad Expo on October 17th. There's International Education Week every November. And then there's our partners are always hosting webinars and whatnot. So there's lots of ways to learn more about study abroad beyond us. And we are happy to help you learn more about that as well. So without further ado, I'm going to stop my share and open it up to share how you're promoting study abroad, challenges, questions, and we can stay hopefully a little bit past 3 to make sure everybody has an opportunity to speak. So thank you all so much. And yeah, whoever, you can raise your hand or just speak up.